Hello, my dear students. Welcome all of you in your 12th English class. Dear students, you know that we are discussing about the topic 4.1, that is History of Novel. In our previous video, we discussed about 18th and 19th century famous novelists, and we also focused on 20th century novelists. So in the same way, through this video, I want to discuss the contribution of women novelists in the history of novels particularly. So let's get ready for the discussion about our first woman novelist in detail. की या व्हिडिओच्या माध्यमातून आपण विविध महिला साहित्यकार, त्यांच्या महत्त्वपूर्ण कादंबरी आणि इंग्रजी साहित्य क्षेत्रातील त्यांचे योगदान याविषयी अधिक माहिती जाणून घेणार आहोत. Dear students, our first woman novelist is Frances Burney. She was born on 13 June 1752 and died on 6 January 1840. She was also known as Fanny Burney and later called as Madame A or Madame D. Orbelay. She was an English satirical novelist, diarist, and playwright. Actually, she was born in Lynn Regis and now King's Lynn in England. Fanny Burney's notable works included Evelina, published in 1778. It is called A Novel of Manners. Then Cecilia, 1782. Camilla in 1796. And The Wanderer in 1814. फ्रान्सिस बर्ने ह्या इंग्रजी भाषिक उपहासात्मक कादंबरीकार, रोजनिशी लिहिणाऱ्या आणि नाटककार देखील आहेत आणि त्यांच्या प्रमुख कादंबरी म्हणजे एव्हलिना, सेसिलिया, कॅमिला अँड द वॉन्डरर ह्या आहेत. Dear students, Burney's Evelina was most successful and highly regarded novel. It was really admired by the critic also. की एव्हलिना ही फॅनी बर्नी यांची एक यशस्वी व महत्त्वपूर्ण कादंबरी असून ती समीक्षकांची आवडती कादंबरी आहे. Our next important female novelist is Anne Radcliffe. She was born on 9 July 1764 and died on 7 February 1823. She was an English author and pioneer of Gothic fiction. की ॲन रॅडक्लिफ ह्या देखील एक प्रसिद्ध लेखिका असून त्या गॉथिक कादंबरी प्रकाराच्या आद्य साहित्यकार आहेत. Her technique of explaining apparently supernatural elements in her novels has been credited with gaining Gothic fiction respectability in the 1790s. Radcliffe was the most popular writer of her day and almost universally admired. की रॅडक्लिफ यांच्या लिखाणाच्या कौशल्यामुळे आणि त्यांनी केलेल्या अलौकिक गोष्टींच्या सुंदर चित्रणामुळे गॉथिक म्हणजेच रहस्यमय कादंबरी प्रकाराला 1790 मध्ये प्रतिष्ठितता प्राप्त झाली आणि त्यामुळेच ॲन रॅडक्लिफ ह्या त्यांच्या काळातील सर्वोत्तम आणि प्रशंसनीय लेखिका आहेत. Dear students, here you can see the image of the writer and cover pages of her famous novels. Famous novels such as The Mysteries of Udolpho on your screen. So just keep in mind, Anne Radcliffe, Gothic fiction writer, famous for her novel The Mysteries of Udolpho. Our next famous woman novelist is Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. or generally called as Mary Shelley. She was born on 13th August 1797 and died on 1st February 1851. She was an English novelist who wrote a novel based on the science of the age, Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus, in 1818. की मेरी शेली या देखील एक प्रसिद्ध महिला इंग्रजी कादंबरीकार असून त्यांची फ्रँकेस्टाईन ही विज्ञान युगावर आधारित लोकप्रिय कादंबरी आहे. Students, here you can see the image of Mary Shelley and cover page of her famous book Frankenstein on your screen. Now students, let's move towards our next writer. Dear students, our next world famous woman novelist is Jane Austen. She was born on 16 December 1775 and left this world on 18 July 1817. She was an English novelist known primarily for her 6 major novels, which has been ruling over the minds of people. She is such a famous writer. जेन ऑस्टिन या एक प्रसिद्ध व लोकप्रिय महिला कादंबरीकार असून त्यांच्या कादंबरी लिखाणातील विविध वैशिष्ट्यांमुळे त्यांच्या कादंबरी लोकांच्या मनावरती सतत राज्य करतात आणि साहित्य समीक्षक व वाचकांमध्ये त्या खूपच प्रशंसनीय ठरल्या आहेत. सो हिअर यू कॅन सी द इमेज ऑफ Jane Austen on your screen. Now let's focus on her 6 major novels. Dear students, here you can see the cover page images of 6 major novels written by Jane Austen. These novels are like this. First one is Emma. Second, Northage Abbey. Third, Mansfield Park. Fourth, Persuasion. Fifth, Pride and Prejudice. And last one is Sense and Sensibility. So all these are the world famous novels written by Jane Austen. Dear students, just keep in mind there is a beautiful Hollywood movie based on Austen's novel Pride and Prejudice. And the notable thing is that Indian actress and Miss World, Aishwarya Rai, she played an important role in that movie. So just keep in mind, Jane Austen contributed a lot for the development of novels as an important literary genre. So she is world famous women novelist. Our next women novelists are 3 well-known Bronte sisters. These Bronte sisters means Emily and Charlotte Bronte. They have created their own place by their incomparable works such as The Wuthering Heights and The Jane Eyre. So let's focus on information of Charlotte Bronte. Born on 21st April 1816 and died on 31st March 1855. She was an English novelist and poet, the eldest of the 3 Bronte sisters who survived into adulthood and whose novels became classics of English literature. की ब्रॉन्टे सिस्टर्समधील सर्वात मोठ्या म्हणजे शार्लेट ब्रॉन्टे ह्या असून त्यांची जेन आयर ही कादंबरी अतिशय लोकप्रिय आहे. Then the second one is called Emily Bronte, born on 13 July 1818 and died on 19 December 1848. She was an English novelist and poet who is best known for her only novel, and the title of that novel is Wuthering Heights. And now it is considered a classic of English literature. एमिली ब्रॉन्टे ह्या त्यांच्या उदरिंग हाईट्स ह्या कादंबरीसाठी जगप्रसिद्ध असून ह्या कादंबरीला इंग्रजी साहित्यातील एक उत्कृष्ट कादंबरी असे म्हटले जाते. And the last Bronte sister is called Anne Bronte. Born on 17 January 1820 and died on 20th May 1849. She was an English novelist and poet, and the youngest member of Bronte's literary family. की ॲन ब्रॉन्टे ह्या ब्रॉन्टे सिस्टर्समधील सर्वात तरुण लेखिका आहेत. So here you can see the image of these Bronte sisters on your screen. Dear students, here you can see the cover pages of Jane Eyre, world famous book written by Charlotte Bronte, and the cover page of Wuthering Heights written by Emily Bronte on your screen. So just keep in mind names of these books and names of the writers also. The next writer is Mary Ann Evans. She wrote the novels reflecting psychological insight. She was born on 22nd November 1819 and died on 22nd December 1880. Actually, she was known by her pen name as George Eliot. She was an English novelist, poet, journalist, translator, and one of the leading writers of the Victorian era. She wrote 7 novels, most of which are set in provincial England and known for their realism and psychological insight. की जॉर्ज एलियट ह्या देखील एक प्रमुख व प्रसिद्ध महिला इंग्रजी कादंबरीकार, कवयित्री, वृत्तपत्रकार, अनुवादक असून त्यांनी 7 प्रमुख कादंबरी लिहिल्या आहेत. त्यांच्या ह्या कादंबरी प्रामुख्याने वास्तविकता व मानसशास्त्रीय अंतर्दृष्टीसाठी ओळखल्या जातात. So here you can see the image of George Eliot on your screen. Dear students, here you can see the cover pages of George Eliot's world famous books such as Silas Marner, Middlemarch, Adam Bede, Romola, and the last one is The Meal on the Floss. Our next important woman novelist is Virginia Woolf. Born on 25th January 1882 and died on 20th March 1941. She was an English writer, considered one of the most important modernist 20th century authors. And she was also a pioneer in the use of stream of consciousness as a narrative device. की वर्जिनिया वुल्फ ह्या 20व्या शतकातील महत्त्वाच्या महिला साहित्यिक असून त्या स्ट्रीम ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस ह्या कादंबरी लिखाण तंत्राच्या प्रणेत्या आहेत. So dear students, keep in mind Virginia Woolf stands for stream of consciousness technique. Virginia Woolf is famous for her novels such as Mrs. Dalloway, Orlando, To the Lighthouse, The Voyage Out, Night and Day, Jacob's Room, The Waves, and Between the Acts. So here you can see the cover pages of these famous novels written by Virginia Woolf on your screen. Now let's move towards our next woman novelist. Dear students, our next important woman novelist is Agatha Christie. Born on 15th September 1890 and died on 12th January 1976. She was an English writer known for her 66 detective novels based on crime and 14 short story collections, particularly those revolving around fictional detectives Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple. Guinness World Records list Christie as the best-selling fiction writer of all time, her novels having sold over 2 billion copies. अगॅथा क्रिस्टी ह्या देखील एक प्रमुख महिला कादंबरीकार असून त्यांनी 62 गुप्तहेरगिरीच्या कादंबरी लिहिल्या आहेत आणि त्यांच्या कादंबरी ह्या प्रामुख्याने हर्क्यूल पायरट आणि मिस मार्पल ह्या 2 काल्पनिक गुप्तहेरांभोवती फिरतात. गिनीज वर्ल्ड रेकॉर्डने त्यांचा समावेश सर्वोत्कृष्ट कादंबरी विक्रेता म्हणून केला असून त्यांच्या कादंबरींच्या 2 अब्ज प्रती वितरित झाल्या आहेत. So students keep in mind, Agatha Christie contributed a lot for the development of novels. Here you can see the images of Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple on your screen. These are the world famous detectives. Dear students, Harper Lee, Margaret Atwood, Toni Morrison and Alice Walker, they have elevated the tradition further to prosperity. Here you can see the image of Nellie Harper Lee, born on April 28, 1926 and died on February 19, 2016. She was an American novelist, best known for her 1960 novel, and title of the novel is To Kill a Mockingbird. This book won the 1961 Pulitzer Prize and has become a classic of modern American literature. की हार्पर ली ह्या देखील एक प्रसिद्ध अमेरिकन महिला लेखिका असून त्यांना 1961 सालचे पुलित्झर प्राइज मिळालेले आहे. Students keep in mind, Pulitzer Prize is an award for achievements in newspaper, magazine and online journalism, literature and musical composition in the United States. Students, here you can see the cover page images of Harper Lee's 2 important creations. First one is To Kill a Mockingbird, award-winning novel, and another one is called Go Set a Watchman. Margaret Atwood, born on November 18, 1939. She is a Canadian poet, novelist, literary critic, essayist, inventor, teacher and environmental activist also. Atwood has won numerous awards and honors for her writing. A number of her works have been adapted for film and television, increasing her exposure. की मार्गरेट ॲटवूड ह्या देखील प्रसिद्ध कॅनडियन कवयित्री, कादंबरीकार, साहित्य समीक्षक, निबंधकार, संशोधक, शिक्षिका आणि पर्यावरण विषयक कार्यकर्त्या असून त्यांना विविध पुरस्कार आणि पारितोषिके प्राप्त झाली आहेत आणि त्यांच्या अनेक साहित्य कृतींची निवड फिल्म आणि टेलिव्हिजनसाठी झालेली आहे. सो जस्ट कीप इन माइंड, मार्गरेट ॲटवूड, वन ऑफ द वेल नोन विमेन नॉवेलिस्ट. The next important woman novelist is Chloe Anthony Woodford Morrison, and she was basically known as Toni Morrison. She was an American novelist, essayist, book editor, and college professor. She gained worldwide recognition when she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1993. की टोनी मॉरिसन ह्या अमेरिकेतील प्रसिद्ध महिला लेखिका असून त्यांना 1993 सालचे साहित्याचे नोबेल पारितोषिक प्राप्त झालेले आहे. सो हिअर यू कॅन सी द इमेज ऑफ टोनी मॉरिसन ऑन युअर स्क्रीन. सो कीप इन माइंड, शी ऑल्सो कॉन्ट्रीब्युटेड अ लॉट ॲज अ वुमेन नॉवेलिस्ट इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ नॉवेल्स. Dear students, our last important woman novelist is Alice Walker. Born on February 9, 1944, she is an American novelist, short story writer, poet, and social activist. In 1982, she wrote the novel The Color Purple, for which she won the National Book Award for handcover fiction and the Pulitzer Prize for the fiction also. की ॲलिस वॉकर ह्या अमेरिकेतील प्रसिद्ध साहित्यिक, सामाजिक कार्यकर्त्या व स्त्रीवादी लेखिका असून त्यांच्या द कलर पर्पल ह्या कादंबरीला नॅशनल बुक अवॉर्ड व पुलित्झर प्राइज मिळालेले आहे. Dear students, here you can enjoy the beautiful color page images of different novels written by Alice Walker. So in this way, students, we discussed about the contribution of different women novelists in the history of novel as a literary genre. So thank you, my dear students. Keep your watching and keep your learning.